remember, measure twice, cut once. Now you bandsaw lovers are not going to like what I'm going to say. I find that the table saw works a lot better for doing piddly little things like this. I can do a much more accurate job. I feel like I'm all thumbs here on this thing. And if I want to do some resawing, yeah, then the bandsaw is great. But the table saw for me works the best. Sorry. Now normally I don't have the blanks that much longer than the brass tubes as you see there. Normally I just have them about 1/8 of an inch longer, but this time because I'm using that 27/64 inch bit, I may have to use the epoxy glue. The CA glue just might be too thin because there's going to be too big a space between the brass tube and the blank. Anyway, that's my preference. And anyway, what I usually do if I do the epoxy glue thing, I've made such a mess on the ends that I trim it down on the table saw before I do the barrel trimmer thing anyway. So it doesn't matter if they're a little too long. Now I already have my self-centering pen blank vise adjusted here for the 12.5 millimeter bit. And the idea of this little stick here is so that when the brad point breaks through the bottom, it doesn't tear out as much as it otherwise would. So that's the reason I sometimes put a little spacer in the bottom there. And this thing here is because I found, to my surprise, that this will work back and forth. I didn't realize that until the other day. So I made this up. And it just helps. Just sort of wedges in place there. Okay, I think we're ready. Now I can see I should have backed the bit up as I was going down. In other words, I should have gone down about 1/2 inch and then all the way up and down another 1/2 inch and all the way up, you know what I'm saying. But it was cutting so good, I thought, why bother? But I can see now by the way it was built up in the flutes there that I should have actually done that. Well, let's try it now and see if it works good on the brass tube. I think this one will be okay. It's the smaller one that I'm worried about. Once again, we have a perfect fit here. Except that this is maybe too long. Now you will notice that I've got two sets of olive wood blanks going on here. And that's because I'm going to actually be making 2 of these Helix pens. One I'm giving away, and one I'm going to keep for myself. So I've also cut a sample piece here, because I wanted to see, just how too big that 27/64 inch was. And it's actually not too bad. I think I'm going to be able to use the CA glue, and it should work out okay. It's a little loose, but if I use the CA thick, it should work out okay. Anyway, we'll give it a whirl. Okay, this time I'm going to take the time to clear the flutes. There's something I just noticed. I can smell this wood. It has sort of an aroma to it. I wonder if that's because it's sort of a fruit wood. Like, would an olive tree be considered a fruit tree? I guess it would. Anyway, I could definitely smell it. Sort of a nice smell. And now number 2. Pretty good. I just realized I forgot to put in my little brace here, but it didn't make any difference. I didn't notice it shaking back and forth too bad. I guess if it was, I would have thought about it before now. Anyway, yeah, let's go try it out. Okay, I think we're ready to glue. That is, after we plug the ends with base plate wax and sand them down. here we go. I just got to remember I don't have all day here. Probably about 15-20 seconds. And I also have to remember to not stop, because that's when it'll seize up. And it's very easy to forget that. Okay, I think I've got enough in there now. Okay, give it a little bit of curing agent on this end here. And we'll see if we can pull that elastic band out of there. There we go. Now just do that 3 more times. Now I know that every time I make a pen, almost every time, I always mention how extremely important it is to get all the glue out of the inside of the brass tube. Because if you don't, your pen parts aren't going to want to go together right. And yeah, and you're going to end up breaking your pen press, or maybe getting a part half in and half out, and you can't finish your pen. Anyway, mind you, I've never had that happen, but I can envision it happening. So today I'm going to finish up these other 3, and then I'm going to call it a night. And tomorrow I'll do the barrel trimmer thing, and maybe we'll get a little turning done. But that's going to be tomorrow. Thanks for watching.